Oh, I see there are already 4 people. Welcome aboard. I'm not quite sure how to do this. It's the first time I do a live stream, so that's going to be interesting. So I can't see any messages. I see, yeah, 4 people. 1 thumb up. Thank you. Can you guys hear me? Oh, okay. Someone says hello. S-R-E-I-P-P. Yeah, hi. Is the sound all right? That's an important question. All right, you guys let me know if you can hear me all right. The camera works, I can see myself, but that's about it. Okay, good sound. Okay, very good. Very good. All right, I'll start with a question that was given to me offline, and I had 3 of them, and I'm sure I wrote them somewhere, but I guess I lost 2. It was about field day and what I thought about field day. Now, field day, I think, is a great idea. It gets people out of the shack. And it gets people, it exposes the hobby to other people, basically. I would like to see it maybe a little more, I don't know, maybe a little more rugged somehow. I see a lot of big RVs and, barbecues and stuff. And of course, it's also, about having fun, but there is like a serious component to it as well, emergency preparedness and all that stuff. So I would personally do it a little more, rugged, so to speak, like survival-like or whatever. But no, I like field day, and I've never really participated. I'm not into contests, and for me, the contest part of it is not something I'm interested in. So I've never really, I've never done it, basically. All right, so let's see. Chris, we have Martin. E8 DGA, N1 UFO, that's an interesting call sign. Gabrielle from Brooklyn, New York. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Well, I'm glad you guys came, and I'm sure many more people are going to sign in. We have 18 now, so that's excellent. And I hope you have some questions, because otherwise it's going to be a short session. But excuse me while I have a little bit of port. DO3KF. Yeah, I hope so, man. Bill Couture, Washington. I've been to Washington. Had a great time. Didn't stay very long. It was raining too much. I also have some tea brewing right there. It might be a long session, depending if you guys have a lot of questions or not. KI7 VHT N6 RLS Berkeley, California. Been to California too. All right, so you guys start asking your questions. And again, nothing too personal, except if it's related to radio. And am I the only French guy? Peut-être. Maybe. Will you do more sessions where you say you will be on this frequency at that time so people can have a chat? Yes, I will do that. I have to get out, actually, to do that. And sometimes I don't really know in advance when I'm going to go and where I'm going to go. So but sometimes I do so. But I really would like to do that again. Yes, yes, definitely. Oh, Aaron. Oh, shit. One of my best friends there from Florida is on. Excellent. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Nice to see you. Simon, and M7 PRC, that must be someone that has to do with the PRC 320, probably, maybe. All right, other questions? Anybody is wondering anything about radio that, or prepping? You know, we're not going to talk about things like that. I don't want my channel to be erased. The boat construction. Yeah, well, you know, the problem is that right now I'm at a place where I don't have any space for any boat construction. So that's on the back burner, unfortunately. I'm saving up to buy a new boat and go maritime mobile. Will you be building a QSX when it comes out? Definitely, yes. I will buy one, and I would like to buy the not only the 40-meter version, but the filter board to have all the frequencies. I think it's 160 to 10 meters. And I'm definitely waiting for it. I've been waiting for a long time, like a lot of people. And I'm starting to think, hey, you know, is it ever going to come out? And I think it will, and I hope it's going to be before the end of the year, really. But I don't know. Are you storing food, water, etc.? Okay, so I might do a video about that, although it's not really radio, but I started by storing water first, because here I mean, I live in a region. I was before in Florida and the north of France. North of France, it rains a lot. And I mean, 220 days a year, so no worries about water. Here, though, in the south of France, it doesn't rain at all. I mean, it's rare. It doesn't rain. So I started with water, and I have how many? I have 14 packs of 6 bottles of 1.5 liters. So you do the math. And now I'm going to start with the food. Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Are you storing? Yeah, okay. Book that covers relationship between EF antenna length and transformer winding ratio. I don't know. I don't know. That's probably something you'll find on the net, really. Hey, someone from France, Albert. Let me know if you need solids modeling. Yeah, that might be, you know, for amateur radio. I'm really getting into, as you know, you guys have seen 3D printing, and I actually do want to get it 3D printer, because there isn't a week without me asking myself, hey, you know, shit, I need that part here, and I could make it, but I don't have a printer. I could do it. I can do it at work, but you know, I'm not going to go every single week asking for printing. They're going to tell me, yeah, you know, but slow down a bit. Okay, we have KB9ZRP, Chicago, Illinois. Excellent. Thank you. Any experience with the Xiegu? That's how you pronounce it. G90? No. I'm kind of interested in the G1M. That seems like a very interesting radio. Only 4 bands, but I wish they had 30 meters. If they had included 30 meters, I might have gone for it. But it does have 80 meters, which is very, very important band for prepping. About unfed, is a common mode filter advisable to use in the coax and a distance from the feed point? That depends. Unfed, if it's a half wave and you have a 49-to-1 or 64-to-1 transformer, you do not need a common mode filter to get rid of extra current that would be coming back. But if you use a random wire, you might need one. That's possible, yes. The random wire, by the way, is with a 9-to-1 Unun, not a 49-to-1. And I have a video about that. Just check it out. Antenna theory might be the book is looking for. Yeah, maybe. There's a great book from Les Moxon, M-O-X-O-N. It's called HF Antennas for All Locations or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But Les Moxon has a great book about HF antennas. Using solar power alone for your field trips. Yes, I am. I would like to do that, just to see if my solution actually will be enough to power my radio on a longer, for a longer term. I think it will, because you're not going to use a radio all day. You're probably going to set up at night. You're not going to be connected all the time. And if you're camping, you can charge your batteries. I can have two sets of batteries, one that is in use and another one that I'm charging with a solar panel, but not using them at the same time. Now, my batteries are small enough that I can do that. Do you do any digital modes using Raspberry Pi? I thought about it, yeah. I've done digital modes before, and digital modes are a great way to communicate. It involves a little bit more gear than I like, but it's definitely very efficient, and you can even decode signals that you can't even hear with some modes like GS8 Core, for instance, which would be the best for prepping, in my opinion. So Raspberry Pi, I might do that. It's a lot of things to buy. It's Raspberry Pi, a screen, maybe connect that to a tablet like Julian did, or things like that. But, I might look into that. Yeah, it's possible. All right. So what was the most creepy you heard on radio? I just can't think of anything really, really creepy that I've heard. The most probably not creepy, but the most out of line things that I've heard were probably on CB radio. Unfortunately, that was a long time ago. I think now it has improved a bit. My coax line is too short. If I add 4-foot piece with an inline connector, will I have issues? It depends. If you get a quarter wave, if the total length of your feed line is a quarter wave or a multiple of a quarter wave, well, actually a quarter wave, I think you might have issues, but it might change your SWR a little. You'll add a little bit of loss to your feed line, but it should work. All right, let's see if we have, how many people we have? 36. Yeah, that's pretty good. Are there many differences between CW in France versus in the United States? More or less contesting versus racturing, for example? No, it's about the same. The only differences are legal, but because some bands are smaller in France, the top of the band is a little bit lower than in the US, like 80 meters, for instance, is from 3.5 to 3.8 megahertz, not 4 megahertz. 40 meters is 7 megahertz to 7.2, not 7.3. Although that doesn't really affect the CW part of the bands, which is at the bottom. So I thought you Croatia. Okay, excellent. 9A4NA. I saw that you bought an LNB for Hales 2. Yes, I did. Not yet. Not yet. I'm just trying to save up money for a boat. And so I don't have, I'm not spending, I just can't spend that much and buy everything I'd like to. By the way, you can go to patreon.com. I'll put the link below when the session is finished and, help me out. But and that's the only reason I want to try the new, I think it's QO100 geostationary satellite above Qatar. 36,000 kilometers altitude, and a friend of mine was able to make a QSO using CW and 40 milliwatts. Yeah, 40 milliwatts. So it's very interesting. Satellites for prepping, it's a bit of a problem. I certainly wouldn't try satellites that you have to track with your antenna by hand or anything like that. Fast-moving low-orbit satellites, because it's just too much trouble. But geostationary satellite. That might be, might be something else. And of course, it could be taken down. It could be damaged by an EMP, a solar storm, or anything. But I don't know. That's a lot of gear, though. I know, 80 centimeter satellite dish. I just have to buy all the components and assemble them, and that might take some time. But I'll probably get there someday. All right, Melbourne, Australia. Oh wow, I've been to Melbourne. Yeah. I hitchhiked all over the country. Western Kentucky. Excellent. KY9I73. Let's see. Would you be able to repair your radios in an SHTF situation with locally available components, considering they all have specialized ICs and SMD components? If it's an SMD or anything like that, probably not. Probably not. I really would suggest having spares, because repairs would be difficult. Also, you would need testing equipment, something that you might have at home, but you're not going to carry with you. So generally, no. I would certainly highly suggest to own a 12-volt soldering iron, though. That's an item that would be very useful. Where do you get that mark on your forehead? Aging. I got older, and that's it. My friend Randy has lost some mountains. Have you seen them? Yeah, they're right over there out of my window. KG 1968. KG 1968. Okay. Let's see. Conspiracy Cats. That's interesting name there. Kikus Maxim. Maybe a radio made from discrete components and simple LC circuit-based VFO would be more appropriate for prepping. Probably, yeah. I really like the SW Plus series of radios from Small Wonder Labs. Unfortunately, Dave Benson retired, so there is no more Small Wonder Labs. And but I think you can still get them from. I mentioned it in one of my videos. It will come back to me. I'll think about it. It will come back to me. But you can still get copies of the SW Plus series, yeah. And I really like analog VFO radios, definitely. That's why I have a K1. Are the sunspots coming back? Not right yet, not just yet, but it's coming. Just a few years, and I think we'll be in business again, and it's about time. What radio would you buy if money is irrelevant? That's a difficult question. I might buy a military radio like the Kodan. I think it's the I don't remember which one, the model exactly, but the Kodan Manpack maybe. But that's probably a fairly heavy radio, so not the best. Otherwise, I used to own a K2, Elecraft K2, and I know they're probably going to discontinue it soon, and I would like to buy one, but I don't think I would buy something like super expensive. I don't think the price really makes for a much, well, it does make for a better radio, but after a certain price point, you're not going to get much more performance out of a radio. It's just tiny details and features and things like that, but I don't think you need to put a lot of money in a radio to get a very good radio. Learning from videos, watching you from Berlin. Okay, excellent. Will you be buying the K4? No. It's almost too much radio for me, and the prices, I mean, it's going to be expensive, so I love Elecraft products, but I would rather buy a K2 than a K4. Especially because I would have to build it myself, and I have more of an emotional attachment to radios that I build myself, and that's most of my radios. Somehow I sold all the other ones. I just have an ICOM left here and some military radios, but I tend to sell the radios I haven't built and it's not a conscious process, but I just do it because something you build with your own hands, you're not gonna, you shouldn't be selling anyway, and that's why I'm on my third K1, and that one I built. So I built 2 out of those 3. Yes. Videos, sense of humor, comment. Passe sans rien en anglais. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't translate from French to English. I don't. It's too much work. So either I speak English or I speak French. But sometimes I, mix up things. Not on purpose, but I don't translate. It's too difficult. Can you comment on the Game Master CB antenna? Why they say it is so good? I don't know. I don't know the Game Master antenna or the Game Master brand, so I wouldn't know. But size matters, and probably it's a matter of size. I don't know. If it's a long antenna, that would explain definitely. So that's all I can say about that. Greetings from Florida. Hey, yeah, I used to live in Sarasota, Florida. Loved it. Best years of my life. What do you think about the ban on encryption on the amateur bands? I think it's silly because you can send encrypted files via the internet, so why not on radio? I don't know. Of course, that could, now we get into questions of terrorism and things like that. So I think it does, up to some point make sense, because you don't want the bad guys to use encryption on radio, but hey, they don't care about the law, so they're going to do it anyway. So it just allows them to maybe pinpoint people who do and find them like that. So it does make sense, but it sucks. And well, in case of emergency, if you really have to, you really have to, right? Do you like satellite contacts, and what do you think about Q100? I just talked about that. I think Q100 is the first satellite that is actually worth exploring for prepping, because it's geostationary. Unfortunately, it doesn't cover the US. I wish there were a little bit more geostationary satellites instead of the ones that you have to track, which in the field would be, well, it's possible people do it from parking lots and stuff, but it's not the easiest way to go. So, but definitely from Tenerife Island, Tenerife, yeah, that would work. Yeah, definitely. I would give it a shot because, the equipment is not very expensive, so you're not risking a whole lot there. If you want to use CW, for instance, or you have a transverter, why not? Why not? You just have to keep in mind that that satellite can turn off for whatever reason, and that you need to plan B, basically. I've never tried a satellite contact, but it's on my list. Whew, man, it's a lot of talking. I like it though. It's interesting. It's interesting to have the feedback from you guys, and I'm really glad you're all there. 44 people, 42 now. Some people left. Hey, I must have said something wrong. I don't know. Anybody else with a question? I hope the connection is good. I hope it's not shaky, and the sound is okay. Do you sell patches or stickers? Actually, I did sell T-shirts before, and I have a mug that's on sale right now. If you go to radiopreppers.com, preppers plural with an S, radiopreppers.com, there's a link to the store, I believe. I think so. Not quite sure, but I only sold one mug. Maybe I should use one. If I was using one right now, you'd all see the mug and get one, but yeah. Great connection. Okay, excellent. I have fiber optics, so it should be good. Yes, I found it. Okay, great. Oh, so it is there. I wasn't even sure. I'm not doing this really for business. If I was, I would be pretty poor. I do have a full-time job. I'm a systems administrator on Unix. So that's what I do for a living. But making a living in France is not very easy, and we're not going to talk politics, but that's all there is to it. Hello, Connor Lombardo. Welcome aboard. It's really cool to see everyone here. The light is getting down here. It's 6:26 p.m. So I have the light on, but it's probably like a 20-watt bulb or something. So and my camera is very old. Sean, hey, yeah. Move back to Florida. Eventually, yeah, I might. I'd like to go sailing first for a few years. Do that again. Which brand or model would you recommend as a vertical multi-band antenna? Oh, it's for garden, so it's for yeah, it's not for mobile. If it was for mobile, I would have said the QRP guys vertical tri-band antenna. But for I'm not sure. I might look at DX Commander. It's got some good stuff. I prefer an antenna that doesn't have radials because it's easier to install and move and all that stuff. But if it's your garden, you can certainly install a bunch of radials, no problem. A trap antenna is kind of lossy, of course. If the lower the frequency, the more losses because you have to go through more traps. I might try an unfed half-wave multi-band, but you can't. You're gonna have to have a pretty tall mast for that, and that's the difficulty. Otherwise, maybe the good old RV. Jesus, sorry, RG. I forgot the name of that antenna. Someone will remind me here, but. Basically a doublet antenna fed with a ladder line. Okay, Andrew uses the DX Commander antenna. Yeah, people give good feedback on those. SM6 YEC and N1 UFO. Yeah, G5RV. That's it. G5RV. I knew it, of course. But I just couldn't remember. That's live for you. When you make a video on YouTube, you have time to prepare, and if you mess up a take, you do it again. But here on live session, you can't do that. So I'm gonna just try not to say anything stupid. The Gain Master is big, but not so big. It is made of coax as capacitor. Yeah, that's pretty common, and coil, no radials. It's probably an unfed, not sure, but it would be pretty long though. I'll check it out. I'll check it out because I don't know about it. I have a CRU antenna, the Travel something 5000 or whatever. 82 countries with the G5RV. Yeah, the G5RV is not the best antenna, but it's certainly multi-band, so you can with a good tuner. And you don't need much power really, and that's what I always say. You don't need a whole lot of power to get very, very far. You do need a good antenna because you need to radiate the little power you have, but not much needs to come out to really be successful. Have you participated in ISS SSTV events? No, because that's only one way, so you only receive and that's it. And I don't know, doesn't appeal to me. I would like to talk to the ISS. Hey, if those guys are watching me now, send me an email. You will set up a QSO. But really, and one way, just reception is not really my thing. I like to make contacts, so I haven't tried. Your opinion on FT8? Yes or no? It depends. I mean, if you're like, you like collecting things, maybe I'm not into FT8 at all. For me, I could sit in front of a wall, and that would be more interesting than FT8. Sorry, I'm gonna lose a bunch of subscribers on that one. Nothing wrong with it because it doesn't bother anyone, but for me, it's totally useless because it's not for communicating. So I would rather do a JS8 call, which is based on FT8, same technology, same software, but JS8 call. No, that's a great, probably the best digital mode for prepping, because you can also now leave a message to someone and stuff, and it's really efficient. And yeah, I would use that definitely. FT8, I don't know. I even heard about a contest with FT8, which didn't make any sense, because you could just let your computer do it and go do something else for the weekend and come back and see the result. Doesn't make any sense, but I don't know. But it's, hey, ham radio is for everyone. It's there are a lot of hobbies within ham radio, and that's what's great about it. Have you ever had a chance to use any high-end Fed antennas? No. I use the myantennas.com antenna, which is kind of the same. All those ANFETs are the same circuit basically, and I build my own, so I have no more reasons to buy them. If I was sent one, I would test it, of course. I've tested the antennas from Chameleon, the Amcom 2 antennas, the portable one and the bigger one. And those work absolutely great for multi-band use, and that might also answer the question we had before. Chameleon makes some, quality stuff. It's a little pricey. That's the only problem I have with it, but it's definitely very well made, and I wouldn't hesitate. FT8 has a 13-character field for comment, so you could use to send a short message, right? But a JS8 call is better. So I mean, yeah, more people listening to FT8 than JS8 call. That's probably true, and that's why we have to spread the word. Whew, man, I'm gonna get my tea going here, and wait that another question pops up. Because how long? Oh, it's been 33 minutes. Excellent. It's Russian Earl Grey. Very good. Texas, it's a whole other country. I've been to Houston. Yeah, briefly. I like Texas. A little dry, but I do like Utah also. I would, if I was to move somewhere in the US, I don't think it would be, well, I would go visit my friends in Florida. But probably it would be Utah or, well, I really like Idaho, but in the summer. I don't like the cold, so I wouldn't live in a cold state, definitely. I'm really glad I moved to the south of France, because in the north I was freezing my, what, off, and I didn't like that. 40 people, so we have a good average here. Oregon, excellent. I think we'll have some people coming in, going in and out. Love your videos doing DX in the French mountains. Yeah, that's really awesome. Those mountains are absolutely great. Only problem is that a lot of it is prohibited. You can't do anything. You put up an antenna and someone comes to see you and tells you to put it down, and so we can't do anything in this country, and that's too bad. Hi from the UK. Yeah, I used to talk to the UK from the French coast. Very good. Thank you. Is there anyone here that I have talked to on the air? Sometimes I get people who tell me, hey, we just, yeah, I saw your videos, and it's always amazing, because I just can't imagine that I have so many subscribers, and it just always floors me that someone has seen one of my videos that I'm just talking to on the air. Steve from Liverpool, welcome aboard. Steve Jones, that rings a bell. That's probably not the same one. What's the best military backpack radio? Well, there are two kinds of backpack radios: the ones you can get and the ones you're never going to get because they have built-in encryption. You know, for not too much money, I'd have to vote for the PRC 320. Really, it's really an excellent radio. It's really, really rugged. I'm not an expert on military radios, but PRC 320, that's something else. That's something else. Otherwise, I don't know. might get one of the more modern ones, like I said, like a Kodan. Or there's that company in Australia I forgot about. Anyway, either I would get the PRC 320, which is a great. Oh no, there is one that I really like, the Syncal 2000. Syncal 2000 made by Racal. That's really, really good. That probably would be the best used radio you could get military-wise. South of France is a lovely area. Yeah. What's your sub sandwich? I didn't have a sandwich. I went to Burger King today. Shame on me. I taught a self-defense class this morning that lasted 2 hours, and I was pretty hungry on the way back, and I had to stop there. And it's definitely not good because I have a bit of weight to lose. So Barrett, yes, that's it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Oh, bonsoir de Bruno, F4 DNP. Bienvenue. A little bit of French. You guys, after a while, will pick up French, like, you know, it'll be fluent. Just don't mention Brexit. Probably not the place. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about politics. Otherwise, would still be talking tomorrow morning, and a lot of, half of you guys would have unsubscribed. I'm not an extremist by any means, but I do have strong opinions. Bruno, ça fonctionne. Yeah, of course it works. Amazing what technology can do today, communications-wise. All right, we have 35 people. Oh yeah, it's starting to get long, guys. So I'll take a few more questions if you have them. Maybe some people will come in. Oh, Albert, bravo, vous parlez bien le français. Ben, évidemment, je suis français. Je suis né à Comines, dans le Nord. Yeah, I was born in a town called Comines in the north of France. So definitely, I moved to the US. I was 26. So I had time to get the language down. I'm going to do more videos in French. Je vais faire plus de vidéos en français. Excusez-moi pour le fait que je parle principalement en anglais, mais il y a seulement 3% de mes auditeurs qui sont francophones, donc c'est très peu. Are you planning on looking at the LNR MTR SSB? Yes, I am. I think they're going to come out with a 20 and 40 meter version, and that would be excellent. I built an SSB version, their Slop Bucket 2, and unfortunately it doesn't work. But I have to fix the kit. I have to get back to it. But that would definitely, yeah, the LNR MTR SSB version with CW, that would definitely be on top of my list for prepping radios. Yeah. And it's nice to see you, Andrew. Miguel Santos, 333 radio plan for prepping. Do you know if someone else is using this plan in Europe? I don't know if people know about it in Europe. I know it's, I think it's Amron came up with that, the channel 3. Basically, all channel 3s are used for prepping. And I'm not quite sure it's known in Europe. Probably not. Maybe I should mention it. J'attends avec impatience les vidéos en français. Il y en aura plus, c'est promis. C'est promis. Je vais faire des efforts. Looking forward to your review. Oh yeah, I'd have to buy it. I'd have to have the money. But it could happen. The problem is that if they release only a small number, I might not snatch one at the right time. So I don't know. We'll see. Steve Weber might come up with new kits also once he's done with NNR precision, and I always get all the kits from Steve Weber, so almost. I've built a number of MTRs from his kits, and it's much cheaper that way, but it's also more difficult. And those components are getting very small, and I'm having trouble with my glasses and my vision, so building surface mount component kits is not very easy anymore. Merci d'avance, mais de rien. What size ferrite would you recommend for a 921 Unun with the KX2? There is a great PDF file that you can get from the it's the Hawaii Radio Club, and it describes the construction and the kind of it's not a ferrite actually, it's a powdered iron core. It's red, and it's I don't know the material, maybe it's number 6, something like that. It's 200-6, or I'm not sure, that I don't have it on the top of my head, but go to the Hawaii Radio Club or search for the Earchi, EARCHI Unun, and that's the one I recommend. Oh, Andrew, you got an MTR LCD. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not so big on LCDs because if the temperature goes very low, they stop working. But of course, the radio will keep on going. My little 1-digit LED on the MTR3B, the original one. All right, so thank you. Yep, SMD's ruining homebrew hobby. I don't think it is. It's just that it's not accessible to everyone because of the size. But hey, you know, standard components are still used, and you can still get kits with standard through-hole components. I'm very sad that Elecraft stopped making kits, real kits, like the K1. And the K1, I'm really sad they stopped making it, and I think they really should bring it back. And Wayne, if you if you see this one day, just think about it, because that would be something else. The K1 is my favorite, followed by the MTR, but Weber MTR. But those are really good. I like the SW Plus radios too, from Dave Benson. Those are my favorites. And the SW Plus doesn't have a screen. I don't think screens are really useful on radios. I don't think you really need to, if you know you're inside the band, what does it matter what the frequency is? You find a contact or you transmit somewhere, it's, you know, where it's you have some space, and well, it just avoids, you know, maybe damaging the screen or water ingress or anything like that. So I like very simple, the simplest the better. Of course, I'm not going to use a spark transmitter, but you know what I mean. Have you seen the Discovery TX500? Yes, I've seen it. I'm interested in that too. I actually have contacted them. They replied to me, but the answer wasn't very clear. I don't think they speak English, so I have to find out about that. But I will look at it because it's really definitely, it seems very interesting. The current draw is very low compared to, say, the probably what it's going to be for the ICOM IC705, which has a large color screen, and you don't want a large color screen for prepping. You just don't. You don't want a large screen, period, and certainly not something that draws more current and you know, maybe looks great. But although I have to say, having a waterfall is an advantage, because if you're listening to a band, you can see the whole band and pick up a signal just by looking at the screen. That's a big advantage, but you don't need color for that. SMDs, okay, we saw that. Discovery TX500, yeah. Greetings from Germany, hello. By the way, I do have, I am working on 2 videos right now. I'm working on a video on a 30-meter delta loop antenna, and I'm working on a video on the Retevis RT95 VHF UHF dual band mobile radio, which I'm going to install in my Land Cruiser. And I'm not sure I'm going to have a video ready for tomorrow night. One of those two, maybe. I'm not sure. We'll see. It's a lot of work. Editing a video takes hours and hours. Probably a 30 minutes video takes about 6 hours. I don't know, it depends, but it's a long time. Keep it simple, KISS principle, definitely, Yves. Yeah, definitely. That's how you get reliability, of course. Are you familiar with old French CRM radio maritime company? Never heard of it. As you probably know, I've spent most of my adult life in the US, so I don't know much about French stuff. I have to say, I don't even watch French television whatsoever, so I don't know. But CRM, no, it doesn't ring a bell. Doesn't ring a bell. Radio Maritime Company, no. Sorry. Yeah, no problem. All right, 42, it's going up. All right, any other questions from newcomers? Well, probably not going to make this too long, but I think I've answered already quite a few questions. But I'm always wondering about people who just came in, maybe, and may have some radio questions otherwise. Now, I haven't talked much about prepping, although my channel is called Radio Prepper. And I don't even think I'm well prepared myself yet. I'm working on it, but and the questions you might ask yourself is how much importance does communications, how much it should take compared to the other areas of prepping. And I think it really should be, everyone should be careful about your budget for prepping and really feed all the dogs in the pack, so to speak. Make sure that you invest as much in food and medicine and stuff and other things that you do into radio. And I tend to put more money in radio. Of course, it's my hobby, my passion. So are you not missing much not watching TV? There is much. No, that's true. Yeah. I watch movies and series. I watch a lot of American series, just not lose my English basically. But I'm watching Sons of Anarchy right now. Yeah, I do have to explain what I'm doing to passerbys, and it's funny because a lot of people feel like maybe you have to hide, or and I did that last time on an island over there, but that was about more about the park authorities than passerbys. I actually don't mind when passerbys ask me stuff, because they generally have no idea what amateur radio is, and that's a shame. And shame on us, because people should know what it is, and if they don't know what it is, they can get interested. And that's why we have a bunch of, including myself, old farts in amateur radio. We don't have enough young people. And that's a shame. And we have to show amateur radio to people. We have to get out of the shack, and we have to set up portable and answer questions. Not look like, and you're operating your radio, you see someone passing by, you say hello, you smile, and that might trigger a question, and that might trigger a lifelong passion. And if you don't do it, it's not going to happen. So yeah, I think I do get questions, and I always answer them, and I'm always very nice, and I always try to get people interested, and I think it's very important. Salut, j'ai reçu un kit pour faire une dipole. Quelle taille je dois mettre de fil de chaque côté pour faire une antenne réception multibande? Alors regardez sur Google l'antenne G5RV. G5RV, ça vous donnera la taille. Alors, je crois que c'est dans les 100 pieds ou 110 pieds ou un truc comme ça. Je n'ai pas la taille en métrique. You need to get a T-shirt saying, "No, I'm not fishing." How many times people have asked me that? Yeah. Also, people asking me if I'm listening to the birds. I don't know why. They would wonder why I'm listening, how I'm listening to the birds with a radio. I don't know, and a fishing pole, but that's what they ask, and I don't get it. Learn to use the things you buy for prepping. Medical is a tough one, yeah, but need to know that stuff, definitely. Many of us like one area and specialize in that, while you're not giving enough attention to others. Yes, and it's true of radios and also for other areas, but I'll take radio as an example. You're not going to be using 2 radios at the same time, and you're not going to carry a bunch of them. So don't have a bunch of them. Of course, I do have a bunch of them because I just like radio. I like building them. So, but if I had to bug out, I would only take a couple. Maybe 3. Yeah, and very tiny ones. I would not burden myself with a lot of gear and batteries and all that stuff. And I wouldn't want to bother myself with a computer or anything like that. That would just go fly. I know it would end up on the side of the trail or of the road, a few miles down the road. So it's not even worth it taking it. And I always consider the worst case scenario. Maybe that's wrong of me, but I'm not really equipped for bugging in, so to speak. I'm more equipped for bugging out. But of course, that means I can also, install antennas on my terrace here. So I think I could do both, but I always consider that you're going to end up on foot with a backpack on your back. And that's it. And that's the worst possible solution, of course. I always consider that if you have a vehicle, you're going to lose it, or it's going to break down, or it's going to be stolen, or whatever. And you're going to end up on foot somehow. I think the best bug out vehicle would probably be a motorcycle, and then you can carry a little bit more, but you're going to be limited. So you can't have a lot of, there's no point in having too much equipment if you can't take it with you, basically. Otherwise, you might have more equipment, but if you have a group and you want to spread that equipment between your group members, but they do mean birds or satellites. Oh no, they mean birds. Given the people I saw, and yeah, they meant birds. Yeah, definitely not satellites. Fishing photons. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. What is your criteria for battery consumption when operating portable? Excellent question, Victor. For CW, Morse code only radios, I think 50 to 100 milliamps is the maximum. The QCX is 100 milliamps, and I wouldn't want to have any more than that. The K1 is 50. I think my MTR is 30 milliamps. The MTR4B, I believe, is 20 milliamps, and I don't think you can really do much less than that. For SSB voice mode radios, I think 200 would be 200 milliamps would be the maximum. 250 maybe. Above that, you're going to need bigger batteries, and if you stay at 200, 250 milliamps and below, especially when you get down to 100 or 50, you can use 18650 cells that you can salvage from all laptops, and those work great, and you can use that, and it's easier to recharge. You don't need that big a solar panel. As soon as you go beyond, let's say 250 milliamps, you run into weight problems, and of course there are ways to do it, and but it's for me, my opinion is that I like to stay below 250 milliamps maximum for a voice mode radio. Message retracted. Oh, okay, David, I'll try again. Perhaps, okay, friends, I'm looking at the messages now. How would you survive after bugging out? Hunting, fishing? I think if you don't have anything prepared in advance, it's gonna be pretty rough. The problem with bugging out is that either you're forced by your region becoming unlivable, maybe irradiated, or gas, or I don't know. flooding or anything like that, so that you're forced to leave and you don't have a retreat or some place to go that you've already prepared, it's going to be really rough. Especially if you don't have a vehicle that you can sleep in, maybe, and store food and water. But it would be extremely difficult. I would probably try to go up the mountains a little, but not too high, because at a certain height, above maybe 1,000 meters, 3,000 feet, you don't have much vegetation, you don't have food, you don't have animals, so that would be difficult. Yeah, I don't think bugging out is it's probably your last resort, except if you already, where prepping is concerned, 2 meter radio is the only option. Thanks to repeaters, gateways, I can use my Yaesu 6 white tuner. Okay, repeaters are not going to stay on, not long. I'm convinced that after a week of disaster or whatever, if the power is cut off, repeaters will go away. So I would definitely suggest being ready to use simplex. Really, no repeaters. Don't count on repeaters. That's not a good thing to do, because they're not going to be there when you need them, because you don't control them. 2 meter SSB radio is the best for DX. 2 meter SSB, yeah, definitely. And I've made video about this, and I wasn't very keen on VHF before, but now that I see what it can do, when I saw what it can do, 2 meter SSB, it's really definitely an option that I consider maybe not a must-have, but a very nice to have option. Yeah, definitely. And I wish they were making smaller radios that have 2 meter. Well, the FT818 does. Not a whole lot of power, but MFJ also has the 9402 radio. Avez-vous une idée de kit émetteur radio FM puissant? Je souhaite monter une station de radiodiffusion rurale en Afrique. I don't know much about broadcasting. Non, je ne sais pas. Je ne connais pas vraiment la radiodiffusion, donc là, je ne peux pas vraiment vous conseiller. Désolé. Yaesu FT 817 for my QIP setup. 2 years ago, I set up a worst-case scenario kit. At the time, my granddaughter was 5 years old. Yeah, man, you have to have a plan. And a lot of people have a lot of gear, but they don't have a plan. That's a bit of a problem. Stream has crashed here in UK. Can you reload, please? I don't know how to do that. I don't know. I don't know how to do that, guys. Text message still work. Okay, it's back. Okay, great. Okay. Yes. What are your thoughts on DMR? In normal times, I like DMR because it allows you to talk to other people that are further away, using the internet. But otherwise, the reason why I just bought the Retevis RT95, and it's not a DMR radio. DMR radio was about 250, something like that. I paid 109 euros. So it's more expensive. It's DMR. Well, internet relays will disappear if in an SHTF situation. So I'm not really interested much in DMR, because it's not something that's going to be more useful than an FM radio if the internet is down. So not not very interesting, except maybe for handhelds, like my favorite handheld for prepping, but for group communications only, which is the TYT MD680, and that has encryption and it's DMR. So it's nobody's going to be listening to you if you use that. Of course, you can't use encryption legally and not in regular times, so don't do it. But it's good to have. What are your thoughts? Okay, so FT857 for 2 meter SSB. Yeah, it draws a lot of current though, and that's the only thing. You're gonna need a big ass battery for that. Excuse my French. Oh, Patrick, hey, my friend Patrick. Comment vas-tu, Patrick? Content de te voir. Et je pensais peut-être faire un tour demain à Cossol. Envoie-moi un texto. Crashed in France too. Oh shit. Well, hopefully that will come back as well. Yeah, I've taken a lot at the BX40. I have one. I haven't put it together yet. I have one. Yeah, fine. I mean, and also I even have a EA2 GCY DSB 40-meter kit, which I haven't finished yet. And I do have a few kits like that I haven't finished. Yeah, I like the BX40, but once the QSX come out, there will be no more reason to get a BX40. But I do have one. I have to finish it. Yeah, put it in a box. Some say it's kind of the Bofang of HT. Yeah, a little of HF. Yeah, a little bit. Again, I think the QSX is going to be from qrp-labs.com is going to be much better. The features, actually, the list of features is impressive. The Argent ADS SR1 looks like a budget-friendly solution. Never heard of it. Oh, that might be. Is that the Ritevis? I'm not sure. I know Ritevis has a portable repeater, and portable repeater is a pretty good idea if you have if you have a group that's spread out. DMI is very good on simplex. Yeah, it's not bad on simplex. Yeah, it works pretty well. That's true. That's why I like it for handhelds. Again, like the TYT MD680. It's back. Okay. Jeez, it's wow. BSP embed 60R versus VX6R, which is better. Again, I already answered that, and definitely the VX6R. Save up your money. Get the VX6R. Best one out there for that. I think there is a Kenwood also that has SSB for HF reception, which is something to look into. And that would be even better. Frédéric. Oh, Frédéric et Patrick, les deux. Super. I have my two local friends here that are just came on. So, oui, comme je disais, Frédéric et Patrick, je pensais aller peut-être à Cossol essayer une antenne demain. Donc, appelez-moi ce soir après la session. Là. Telling my friend to call me after the session, so maybe we can go to do some antenna testing tomorrow in the mountains. Que pensez-vous des post Baofeng UV5R? I have one, and I had to buy 3 to get one that worked. At the time, they had a problem with the audio jacks, so you would put your programming cable in, and take out the jack a few times and break the jack. And next thing you know, you couldn't use the either the speaker or the microphone, or I don't remember, but you had to use the radio with a handheld mic. Otherwise, it wouldn't work anymore. So I bought 3 both on UV5R Plus, and the third one actually worked. And it worked really well, I have to say. And it was really mistreated and survived a lot of crap. But I had to buy 3. So, I could have bought a Yaesu for that price. But, I wouldn't rule it out. I see they have the 888, something like that. I don't remember. It's a very cheap, like $15 V8 UHF radio. That for group communications might be a good alternative to the TYT 680, MD 680, because it's a bit cheaper. And if you cannot convince your group members to buy radios, you could buy a few for them, and that wouldn't be too expensive. But it's very hard to get group members and family to get into radio. Very hard. And usually none of them will want to get a license anyway. It's not even, and you're very lucky if you have a group that accepts to, whose members accept to get a ham license for practice, but it's very difficult. Que pensez-vous des post radio? Okay, I already answered that. Oh, pardon, j'ai répondu en anglais. I answered in English. I just, sometimes I don't know what I'm speaking, French or English. I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm actually watching. I was just looking for some good porn. I can, show you a little. Yeah, it's not. You're not a. But hey, you might get interested in ham radio. Who knows? It's better time spent than porn anyway. Battery runtime should be right at the top of needs. Yes, well, that's always say that. I always say, the current draw is one of the most important features of a radio. definitely, because it's going to be very hard to charge batteries in a SHTF situation. Very hard. Okay, so I think battery. Yeah. Have you considered products like the Gotenna for family and group comms? No, the Gotenna is basically a Bluetooth communication, and the range is extremely small. I mean, you're talking meters. 100 feet maybe at the most. Those are a joke. You just don't. It's useless. What is your current favorite portable antenna for 20-meter portable? Yeah, and fed half wave definitely is my favorite antenna. You just can't beat it. I've made contacts from Florida to Estonia. I remember once 8,000 kilometers, 5,000 miles or so with 1.3 watts using a half wave and fed. And it is just nothing better. It's longer. You need a longer pole. Or you need to to throw a wire up a tree, but it's definitely, in my opinion, it's the most portable and the best way. You just build your own transformer, a 64-to-1 transformer or 49-to-1 transformer. It's very easy to do. I have a few videos on that. It just costs a few dollars. You add a half-wave wire, and you're in business, and you have probably the best antenna. Now tomorrow I might be testing the Delta Loop on 30 meters, and the Delta Loop is also a good antenna, so we'll see about that then. Nice, this live video. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the exchange. Definitely, it's really nice. Just wait until the internet and telecommunications goes down with the magnetic pulse, and then you can say, "Told you so" to friends and family. Yeah, I think that's probably the most likely scenario is a solar storm, because it would be so devastating to all electronics that are not into a Faraday cage. So, good afternoon here, driver from shortwave. Okay, Steve Jones. Yeah, find a sailboat. No, I'm saving up right now. Whoop, just knocked the table. I don't want to knock over my port. Well, I haven't really started looking, but I have started saving up money, which is not easy to do in this country, believe me. I will know a hunter. Nah, I don't want a hunter. That's a plastic tub. I like very seaworthy boats, double-enders, heavy displacement sailboats, something that can take a hurricane and just shrug. So I'm not into plastic boats. A lot are very comfortable, but no, I'm going to wait probably a year or two and start looking the ads. And if I need to, I'll take up a loan maybe to get one. But I'd like to live on a boat. If you guys don't know already, I lost one in the Bahamas, and that was devastating to me. And I want to do it again. So I might be maritime mobile in a few years, hopefully. We'll see. And that's my bug out vehicle too. It's my retirement plan. I don't know. I don't have a retirement plan really. Never going to retire. What am I going to do? All right, guys. 46 people. Wait, it's going up. We're not going to go longer than 2 hours. Just in case, might finish before, but I don't. Oh, let's see. It's one of the best, and oh well, thank you. I hope so. And it has really influenced my training and knowledge of QRP. Yeah. Several MTRs. You can't go wrong with an MTR. You cannot go wrong with an MTR. It's designed by Steve Weber, and yep. Those are really great. Of course, Morse code, and Morse code is very important for prepping, not just for radio, but get a flashlight and you can do Morse code. All your members, the group members, should know Morse code. If you're into prepping, your family should know Morse code. Make a game out of it. I don't know. Try to get their interest that way, and maybe make some kind of game when you're all going to learn. even if it's not to use with the radio, but definitely. Any recommendation for operating mobile from hotels? What if the windows don't open? Well, yeah, you might be limited to, in that case, to VHF, UHF, maybe 2-meter SSB, and I would use the copper tape that you can stick on windows, and make maybe a quad antenna with that, or you could make a J-pole or a dipole that you stick on the window with the copper tape. You might have to clean up the window later, but that's probably a good idea. We'd try that, yeah. Or you could put a wire if you want to try HF. You could put a wire attached to the 4 corners of the room and make a basically a loop antenna, and feed that with ladder line and a tuner, and that might work. Of course, you can have also a magnetic loop antenna that you can dismantle, but most of the magnetic loop antennas sold by companies on the market are too small. I think, in my opinion, anyway, they should have like a 5-meter perimeter, not diameter, perimeter, but they should be a decent size. And you can do that with coax, and it's, you can dismantle it and roll it up. But what do you think about use 897D for portable? I like it. I like it. It's a bit current hungry, but the 897D, I even thought about buying one once. Didn't have quite the money at the time. They were quite expensive. If you can find the one in good shape, that I would not. Yeah, I would look at that. But the problem again is to how you're going to power that up. Because even if you reduce the power, you're going to have the power and the receive power. It's going to be quite important. So although it has a small LCD screen, so I'm not quite sure about that. You have to check that out, the power consumption. I'm waiting for $223 million because you ignore my warning. I think I have 15 euros in my pocket, man. That's all I have. What do you think about the non-Serino FP? I have no idea what that is. Tell me. For learning Morse code. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that is. I use phone apps, smartphone apps. I used to use, I think it was Ham Morse or Ham University or Ham Morse for iOS, and KMT Pro, I think it is for Android. All right, the Hunter. Send you $5 a month. It might take a while. Jean-Jean, thank you, Gilles. Are you French? Êtes-vous français? Did you end up selling your KX3? Well, I had a KX3 that I sold. Then I had a KX2 that I also sold. And I kind of surprised myself by doing that, because I really love those radios. Performance-wise, I've never had better. But somehow it was almost too much radio for me. I don't know how to explain that. I didn't build them myself. I should have never sold my K2. I know that for sure. That was a big mistake. Big mistake. Should have never sold my first K1 either. I lost the second one, and now I have a third one. I'm never ever going to sell that one. You can just, it's not going to happen. But maybe because I didn't build them myself, the KX2 and the KX3, I sold them and when I needed money. But I know better now. I think had I kept it, I would probably not sell it. I think there was a mistake too as well. Selling the KX3 was a mistake. Well, both of them. G4 FON worked really well for Morse code. Yes, Andrew. Yeah, that's a good program. There's the website also. What is it? LCWO. Something. I actually talked to the guy who designed the site once. I had a QSO with him. I didn't even know it was him. But why have you not set up super chat so we can send you wine money? I don't know about super chat. I don't know what that is. I'll check it out. Thanks, super chat. No, I have Patreon, patreon.com, and you can also have PayPal. but I don't know super chat, but I'll check it out. Send me a link, Steve. Thanks, because I do like wine. I'm not a drinker, by the way, at all. But on the weekend, I like to have a little glass of port and maybe smoke a pipe, you know. But that's about it. I want to stay healthy, so. $52, it's going up. Les vidéos de CW sont toujours très encourageants. Yeah, CW videos are always very encouraging, and c'est vrai que oui, je pense que le Morse, c'est le b.a.-ba de la radio, c'est l'essence même de la radio. I think CW, well, Morse code is the essence of radio. It's really the basics, and it's very important. And it's even, you know, you don't have to be fast. You just have to know the letters and be able to send a message. But it's so efficient, you know, and it doesn't require any computer other than your brain. But again, once again, it's very hard to get other members of a group or family to learn Morse code, and it's too bad. 897D is 600 milliamp. Ah, man, it's a lot. It's a lot. You can get cheaper radios today that are going to draw much less than that. I'm actually looking into the QRP-VER, QRP-VER series, Minion Mini, and Minion SDR. I might get one of those. MFJ 1622 type antenna. I had one of those for 6 meters. I like them. I think I might get one for 20 meters for my Land Cruiser. It's not, you're not going to do 100 miles an hour with that antenna on your car, but they are fine. They work fine, and I might just use one for operating when stopped. Basically, I'm not going to use it for to use a radio on the way, while driving. Basically, I'll have my CB radio and my Ritevis RT95 for VHF UHF in the Land Cruiser for that. But I don't want to. I'm not going to do. I certainly couldn't do Morse code and driving at the same time. My brain's going to explode. I can only. I already have a hard time brushing my teeth and peeing at the same time. So I'm not going to do Morse code while driving. Help for review. Why is there a message help for review? Can I click on that? I'm not sure. Hold on. I don't know. It's going away. Potentially inappropriate settings. I don't know what that is. Anyway, have you seen the Foursquare QRP cricket transceiver? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind building one of those. Sure, certainly. That would be nice. Importance of CW, yes, sure, definitely. ICOM 705. Now that's the talk of the month, isn't it? Coming up, 5 and 10 watts portable. Yeah, but like I said, look at that big color screen. How much current is that going to draw? And you can easily probably break it. I'm not very. I don't think I'm going to buy an ICOM 705. I think that's big color screen is going to be way too electron greedy. Basically, it's going to draw a lot of current, and certainly going to be above 200 and 250 milliamps. I bet it's going to draw at least an amp on receive. I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't call that a portable radio. Is stealth camping allowed in southern France? If you don't get caught, yes. There are restrictions. Basically, there are some places you can do that, but you have to. You can't have your tent up during the day, so it's like 7 p.m. 7 a.m. or something like that, and your tent must not exceed a certain height. Otherwise, you get like a 300 or 400 euros fine, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, but hey, that's how it is. Do you think using counterpoise on an unfed half wave helps it perform. Depends. If you really have a half wave wire, you shouldn't need a counterpoise. Although some people recommend using a 0.05 wavelength counterpoise, which is fairly short, but can get rid of a little bit of extra current that might come back. But if you have a random length wire with a 9-to-1 unun, yes, you will benefit from a counterpoise. Otherwise, probably not. If you have a real unfed half wave with a 49-to-1 or 64-to-1 transformer, you don't need a counterpoise. Hey, thanks to Hunter for the time up. Very good. 51, yeah, it's going well. We have another 40 minutes maximum, so I'll answer more questions from the newcomers here who have picked up the live session en route. I'm going back here on the comments to see if I haven't forgotten anything on the way. So Austria, okay, we have someone from Austria, a 50 BMG. Ricochet, yeah, that's interesting. I'm into that hobby too, by the way, but I'm not going to talk about that here. Everyone, what do you think about the, okay, 705, I just answered that question. Too much current draw, probably. A big color screen can break it. Not a, for me, it's not a, well, it's probably will be a great prepping radio, not prepping, but a great portable radio for activities like SOTA and stuff like that, but not for prepping. Probably not, because you're gonna have to, charge that battery, and a big color screen is going to be very hungry. But I do like the idea again of a waterfall where you can see the whole band and pick up signals like that. But that screen, I think, is too big. Protests. Oh, we're not going to talk about the protests in France, but no, sorry, can't talk about that. Do they have SOTA in France? Absolutely. There's a lot of activity, actually. I have two friends who do SOTA in France, and I might try it just for the experience. But I think the websites. I went to the SOTA website and the Island on the Air IOTA website, and just to start an activation. And I'm signed up on both websites, but to start an activation is just too complicated. I can't find the summits. I can't find the islands. I can find a place where there's a button that says activate summit or whatever. I just and people have told me, yeah, it's very simple. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, but I'm a computer engineer, and I don't find it easy. I haven't been able to do it, and I just gave up. And I'm like, okay, just F it. And is there any positive arguments for digital modes? Absolutely, there is. It's efficiency. There are digital modes that can decode messages that you can't even hear. Digital modes also allow you to receive messages while your radio is plugged in and you're somewhere else. So definitely, there's a place for it. But bugging out, that will be much more difficult, because you have to carry more stuff. You have to carry a computer. You have to carry batteries. You have to charge that computer. It's more, it's more complicated setup. Of course, some people do it very successfully. Look at Julian, but it's not for me. It's too complicated. Until we get tablets that have built-in HF transceivers, that might come. That might come out. Hopefully, it's going to be quite a problem. But for bugging in, best solution, yeah, digital modes definitely. Except that maybe you won't have so large an audience, because again, you have to find there are so many modes that how are you going to find someone? And can you recognize the different modes by ear? Yes, some people can recognize some, but it's going to be there should be one mode that's designated for prepping emergency stuff, and that should be GSA call, and so that everyone knows, hey, if something happens, we're all going to be on GSA call and not PSK31 or not, although that's a very good mode too. or like, you know, other modes like that. But there would have to be a consensus on which one to use. Otherwise, you're not going to have many people on the air, or you won't be able to find them. I love the scenery you've shown in your mountain videos. Yeah, I know, and it reminded me of you know, around Yellowstone, and it's really beautiful here, and I just have to drive about an hour to get into that scenery. So I'm really enjoying it compared to the north of France. I would have probably ended up depressed in the north of France and sick, you know. But being here, makes it bearable. It makes the bureaucracy and anyway, and I'm not going to talk about that. But it's the region here makes it more livable. Yeah. There are other alternative sota called Hema humps on the I have no idea what you just said. Hey, from New York. Hey, welcome aboard. I'm a Hema activator. I don't know what that is, guys. I've never heard of it. JS8 code, good call. Yeah, it is a good call. Definitely. Somebody should make Whisper call. It's JS8 call. That's what it is. Whisper is great to test antennas, compare antennas to one another. That's for certain. And actually, I have Whisper on my QCX kits, the 30 and 80 meter QCX kits. Alex Alonso, I'm police. Hey, you know, cops are welcome too. Christina, okay, very good. Do we have a lot of people from the Eastern Bloc countries here, from the East? I don't know. Say hi. I have a few Russian friends because I do a Russian martial art called Sistema. So I do know a few Russian people, and we get along great. No details. Whisper works with weaker signals. I think probably JS8 call is as good as Whisper, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not quite certain. Is you coming to Florida again? I hope, eventually, I certainly hope so, yeah. I got to save money, buy a sailboat, and hey, maybe I'll sail there. Assassin's Creed, it's about the French Revolution. The French Revolution, well, okay, no, I said I wasn't going to talk about politics. Bloodbath is the only word that comes to mind, but Christina, I don't, let's see. I don't know, I don't speak that language, so I don't know. The Russian homebrews are some of the best in the world. Yeah, those guys are good. Again, the QRPVER is really something I'm looking at now. Definitely an option because the current draw is very low, and it's very small. So a sailboat, yeah, you bet. I want a sailboat. I want to end my days on a sailboat. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm not even sure I'm going to stay in France, actually. But I'm not quite sure. I'd like to visit Africa also. And I'd like to do some more flying because I'm a pilot and I really love small aircraft, ultralights, gyrocopters, another one of my interests if we get more personal here. Tetra-based radio is a failure in emergency situation. I don't know what that is. Tetra, don't know about it. Police Tetra, I don't know. Don't know what that is. Christina, I don't know what you're saying. I don't speak that. Salut en passant de Gaël. Salut. Bienvenue. 57 numbers going up. Okay. I'm not going to comment on that. In Polish, yeah, I don't speak Polish, so I have some Polish friends, but I don't speak their language. Hi from the UK. Excellent. Excellent. All right, radio questions. All personal, but related to radio somehow. Okay, prepping also. I used to be an Irish Air Force pilot on a hang glider. They have hang gliders in the Air Force. That's pretty cool. MB1 you have? No, I don't know what that is. I know a lot of kits and a lot of radios, but never heard about that one. Who makes it? What kind of music do you listen to? Heavy metal, of course. One of my favorites is Disturbed. Favorite band, well, among others, you know. But yeah, heavy metal rocks. I like all kind of music, but as long as it's well played, you know, and well, maybe not all music, but yeah, I can think of a few that I would not listen to. But I live in the south of France, on the French Riviera. That's where I live. Together, first of its kind. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean, Alex. Nano VNR, yeah, you know, I just bought the EU1KY antenna analyzer, and I paid like 200 euros. And I'm finding out that you can get something that costs like 50 bucks. That's the same thing. Well, I don't know. I haven't tried one yet. So, but I might buy one just to. Oh, hey, they could send me one, but I might buy one just to compare it and have a backup. But it seems to be making a lot of noise, that nano VNA for antenna analyzing, and that's, I mean, that's great. The prices are coming down, and that's great. Here's Johnny. Okay. Do you have RTL SDR app? Yes, I have one here. Hold on. Which one is it? It's on my Macintosh computer, Mac Mini, and it's called. I hope you guys can still see me because I put something else on my screen here, and I'm trying to find the down thing when I put all the radio programs, and here it is. Okay, and how is it called? It's called GQRX. Yeah, I use GQRX. Okay, how do I get back my? Okay, here we go. Barcelona, EA3BV. Oh yeah, yeah, a buddy of mine, kind of. Yeah, welcome aboard. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I wonder if Donald Trump and Boris Johnson have ham radios. I doubt it. I doubt it. They should. Do you have an event to clean your country? I don't know. My country is pretty clean. Everybody loves bluegrass. You know what? Bluegrass is very, yeah, I do like it. I don't know much about it, and I wish I did, because it's very intricate, and it's very, it seems very difficult to play, and it's very, I don't know, I like those mountain, there's a series, an American series about those guys in the mountain. Don't remember the name of it, but it's really interesting. But the bluegrass, yeah, I like that mountain spirit, and I think it has some French roots also a little bit. But really, yeah, it's very technical playing, and it's very intricate, and very, not anybody can play bluegrass, that's for sure. And it has something to it that I like. Even classical, you know, even opera. I like opera too, but it's the performance, the quality of the playing. That's also an intricacy of it that I like. Texas again, yeah. Very welcome. Okay, AliExpress for the Nano VNA. Yeah, I use eBay a lot. I mean, it's about the same prices. A bit like Kazakhstan submarine captain. I don't know what you guys mean there. Oh, getting your license in France, like everything else in France, getting your amateur radio license is very complicated, difficult, and overly complicated. And that's true of everything, like the driver's license, or I mean, anything, any exam. The problem is that people here, the examiners and the tests are designed to make you fail. Not to test your knowledge so much. I mean, they do, but it's also, there's a component there it's there to make you fail, to try again and pay more money, and that's a shame. And the French love, they have a hate and love relationship with bureaucracy and making things way too complicated. And that's all I'm going to say. But and that's too bad. In the US, life is much easier because everybody wants you to succeed, and people don't mind that you succeed, unlike here. And people are willing to help you when you pass a test or something like that, and everything is accessible and very easy to do, which is it's not in Europe, and certainly not in France. Probably it's one of the worst. What would you do? I don't know what. I think people are talking between each other. Have you converted your PRC 320 to LSB? I am going to when I have some time. I have two PRC 320s, so one of them will be. I think I'm going to set up one of them for LSB and one of them leave it as is for USB. But I don't really. I'm a little bit worried about drilling a hole in the case, and I don't want to use the position of the switches for LSB, so I might convert one to be a permanent LSB PRC 320. Did you ever try the double bazooka as HF antenna on your field trips? No, I never tried it. I'll have to, a dipole with coaxial cable as radiator. I have tried a Windom antenna. The problem was that, of course, it's not a balanced antenna, so you have one end is shorter than the other, and I had a lot of current coming back on the coax shield, and I had a lot of trouble getting rid of that. And the SWR was swinging back and forth, and depending on the length of the coax and stuff. And the Windom was not an antenna I want to try again. So I don't know about the double bazooka, if it's a balanced antenna or not, but I might look into that, but I just can't do so many videos every week, but I'm certainly welcome suggestions. Quelle différence entre les récepteurs HKRF et SDR Play? Ok, je connais HKRF, SDR Play, je ne connais pas. Celui que je suis en train de considérer, c'est quelque chose SDR. Ça va me revenir, mais c'en est un autre. C'est un troisième. All right, so back to English. Like I said, sometimes I don't even know what I'm talking. Ever tried a kite antenna? I would like to. I would like to, because here on the mountains, you can definitely, you have some wind. So that would be something interesting. You just have invented the F4WR radio chat room. Yeah, there is one on WhatsApp. Yeah, you have to be on a Patreon subscriber, because I want to limit the number of people. Otherwise it would be a mess. Irish hang glider. I don't know. Irish hang glider. What is that? There's a lot of wind over there, but yeah, I don't know. This is a fun, good idea. Yeah, I agree. If you had an invitation to go to VIP Brother, would you accept to join them, and what would you do there, and why would you go there? I don't know what VIP Brother is. Tell me. Kite antenna, yes. If you want to try SDR RX, just get cheap TV dongle. Yeah. That's the one way to go. Usually they stop at 30 megahertz. So, but it's much more interesting to listen to HF. I think that it is VHF and UHF. So I would definitely get a dongle, a USB dongle that has UHF, I mean HF capabilities, shortwave, 3 to 30 megahertz. Otherwise, anything above 30 megahertz probably going to be FM. You won't get SSB communications except on 2 meters and 6 meters maybe. But listening to HF is probably more important. Although it's good to know, like I said before, your RF landscape for prepping. Know who is where and who's transmitting where, and kind of make a map of what's around you, the repeaters, the people, and know the locals basically, and the frequencies they use. I moved to the south of France in March. Oh, really? Cool, man. Well, hey, send me an email. Have you been QRVP at the C already? No, not yet. I wouldn't mind, that's for sure. A good place to go is the Fort de la Revers, Coldez. Check that out. Big Brother is viral when you people for half a month. I don't know what that is. I'll have to check that out. I don't know. I have to Google it up. And this is a really good internet-based SDR. Okay. Send me a link, Andrew. Yeah, I'll look at it. Because I might need an SDR for the QO100 geostationary satellite, so I might use an SDR for that. A cheap SDR dongle can be modified for HF using raw IQ. Yes, you can get a down converter for that. That's true. Where do I find your email address? My email address would be Gilles, so GIL, at radiopreppers with an S.com. I don't check that address very often, but probably once a week. So be patient. And I have a lot of comments on the videos to reply to and a lot of emails. So I don't always have the time. Levante Boda, hello. Welcome aboard. And 58 people now online. Excellent. We still have about a little bit more than 15 minutes. After that, I'm going to cut it short. Well, not short. It's not a short video, but for TX, there is a cheap dongle called FL2K, but I'll have to match an amplifier yourself. Yeah. On the QO100 satellite, the uplink is 2.4 gigahertz. And the downlink is 10 gigahertz. Your favorite ham radio YouTube, probably YouTuber, you mean? I have a lot of favorite YouTubers for ham radio, and I probably should make maybe a video about that. I certainly watch OH8STN a lot. Other than that, try Stan Gibilisco. Stan Gibilisco, I don't know how to spell it, but Gibil, someone posted, because he has a lot of tutorials on antennas, and I like his stuff. I camped in Volon, France, in Provence and southern France back in 1990s. Okay, Gorge du Verdon, yeah, it's close to here, but I haven't been yet. Monaco, yeah. Cannes, yeah, sure. Absolutely. Those are nice towns. I'm between Cannes and Nice, basically, a town called Antibes, Antibes. I think it was a good move that I moved here because, again, it's really amazing region, probably the best one in France, or one of the best ones in France to live in. Although it's a little bit expensive, but I got a full-time job now, so connection. Oh, I lost my mouse. I thought I lost my internet connection. It was my mouse. Okay, no problem then. Stan Gib. No, it's not spelled like that. Gibilisco is with 2 I's. Gibi, maybe 2 L's. I'm not sure. Steve, that's not exactly like that. But he has good tutorials on antennas again. I think you once made a video there. Where was that? Antibes, amazing, near the mountains. Yeah, it's not very far. 45 minutes. I can in 45 minutes I can be quite high up. Stan Gibilisco it is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he has. There's that new guy in England too. Darn it, I forgot his name. I should make a video about my favorite YouTubers for radio. There are quite a few of them. Cassis, no, Cassis is closer to Marseille. That's more to the west of me. I'm really closer to the Italian border. Aix-en-Provence is more north of here, actually. Not very far either, but north. West, maybe? Not sure. I'm about an hour from the Italian border and maybe 45 minutes from Monaco. Looking to start doing SOTA. What would you be a recommended antenna? I would say the QRP guys, tri-band antenna, tri-band vertical, or a half-wave band fed, which is definitely my favorite and very efficient. You know, if you have a fishing pole that's long enough, you could try that. But the QRP guys tri-band antenna can be used with a 6 meter pole, so it's not very tall, and it's for 20, 30, and 40 meters. But the SWR really it goes back and forth with the quality of the ground. So it's sometimes you need a tuner, sometimes you don't. Depends. Hey Stan, Stan est ici. Super, bienvenue. My friend Stan, I've been corresponding with quite a bit, who makes antenna kits on. Yeah, post your link for your website. Hello from N3NDX. Welcome aboard, Roberto. Is it safe to say that 2 meters is safe? Yeah, I think it is. I mean, if you mean the threat that was on 2 meters that would be taken for aviation purposes, drones and things like that, I think it's not going to happen. Definitely, the UK radio association, where I don't remember the name of it, but said that it was off the table. I don't think they can take 2 meters away from amateurs. I think it would be very difficult. The problem is that in France, people probably would not react enough to prevent that. And, you know, you have to keep in mind that Europeans, although they like to demonstrate in the street and stuff, are very dependent on the government, and they obey the government much more than Americans would, probably. I'm going to try to avoid politics again. I'm not going to want to go there, but you receive a full kit in a few days. Yeah, because I want to build a 40 meter inverted V dipole, and so I'm going to use that kit, Stan's kit, for that. The frame tent next to me was hit by lightning. Holy moly. Love electrical storms in the French Alps. Yeah, I had my my wire up the pole once, and I could see the BNC connector was sparking over, and I took everything down in a hurry. VIP brother, you go to a house with more than 20 people for 2-3 months. Oh, okay, that it's TV show. It's a TV show. Yeah, right. I don't know why I would do that. They paid me enough, yeah, sure. But hey, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I would enjoy it much. I sure don't enjoy watching that kind of stuff. So, French government were trying to pin shot. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they tried. It's not the French government. It's Thales, the Thales company, who was pressuring the French government to do that, but it didn't go through. Fortunately, because it would have been a big doo-doo otherwise. There is still 6 meter FM, which I like, but 2 meters is really one of the most important bands also for prepping, because everybody's got a 2 meter handheld or 2 meter radio. So Do you know someone who that's able to use the QRP guys 4 meter, 10 meter ununtenna plus with 40 meters? I don't know, but I think it should work fine. I think you just follow the manual and build it correctly, and it should work. You might have to play a little bit with the turret, the number of turns on it, but again, that also depends about the quality of the ground that's under the antenna. But I wouldn't hesitate to get one. It's pretty cheap, so. You should you get home bag in the trunk of your car? Oh yeah, will you do a video about that? I might, yeah. If I include the radio in the bag, I might do that. I'll think about it. Yeah. Just regular stuff that I have in there. You know, a little bit of a first aid kit. I have. What do I have? You know, a flashlight. I mean, stuff. The usual stuff you would find in a, you know, get home bag or bug out bag. And bug out is more serious than get home, but that's heavier. That's another kind of bag. Actually, maybe you should have 2 bags, but that you can put one bag onto another. So you have a get home bag that's a little bit smaller that, you know, helps you get home. And once you're home, you might put another bag on it, put that onto another bag and bug out. But I don't know. But definitely bugging out with radio is a video subject I was thinking about as well, because there are a lot of important considerations there as far as power supply and weight. A lot of restrictions on that because you always think you're going to be able to carry more than you will be. When I was in the Pyrenees, I tested the Chameleon Impasse system in the Pyrenees, and had a 25 kilo backpack. It's about 55 pounds maybe, and it's way too heavy for me, even for me. And I had too much stuff basically. It's really easy to overweight a bag or think that you're going to be able to carry your stuff somehow, and you have to think about it. Everything that you any kind of vehicle or that you use or anything you have with you can fail, and once that happens, you're left on foot with a backpack, and that's when you need equipment that can fit in that backpack, and that you're not going to be tempted to throw on the side of the road. Have you watched VK3YE's videos? Peter, yeah, Peter's videos in Australia, absolutely great stuff. Yeah, definitely suggest watching his videos. Yeah. Could you make a video about the Monserino kit from Willy Cram from Austria? I have no idea who that is or what that kit is. So send me a link, gil@radiopreppers.com. gil@radiopreppers.com. Send me a link on that. I'll check it out. But maybe if you know him, have him send me one. We're trying to pitch. Okay, so I saw that. I know someone. Yeah, I saw that. Double bazooka, symmetrical dipole. Okay, so you avoid current problems there, so that's good. Coaxial fed. Okay, no common mode current. That's what I said. Yeah, okay. Can recommend it. Yeah, it's probably good. I don't know. The dipole is a good antenna anyway. The only thing with dipoles is that often they are mounted too low to be to radiate at low angles. So you have to put your dipole high enough so that it works. You don't have that problem with vertical half-wave and fed, but you need a long pole. Almost 2 hours live now. Yeah, I know, right? We might even go over. I don't know if you guys want to keep going. I'm up for it. None of your body weight. Well, I just saw a video on from Canadian Prepper about that, and he said that it was BS because, and he's kind of right because, well, it's a guideline, but 15% of your body weight. It depends on your physical abilities, basically. If you're already overweight and not in shape, even 15% of your body weight, even 1% of your body weight might be too much. So it depends on your general fitness. And you can go to a ham radio convention and see the general fitness of the ham radio operators. Generally, it's not very good, and that's too bad. And that's one of the considerations for prepping is fitness also. I made it. Marx, Xander Marx, yeah, excellent. Were you playing radio outside? I think that's, I'm not sure. Welcome from the UK, England, yeah, absolutely. Only been once in the UK. I'd like to go back, maybe for some. They have some interesting shows, like military shows over there, stuff like that. Perm B, welcome aboard. Yeah, we might go over 2 hours. I don't know. Hey, you know, it's not 47 people. It's people coming in, people leaving. Keep asking your questions and I'll keep answering, but after a while I'll probably get tired, you know. Field day questions. Oh yeah, right. And I answered that, and actually I said, and I'm not going to repeat myself, but that's not a problem. Yeah, I like field day. I think it's important that people get out of the shack and expose radio, amateur radio to the public. But I think I would like, if I was doing it and I've never done it, I would make it a little rougher maybe. I mean, like no generator and big RV and barbecue. I would do it without that, basically, to make it more realistic. But it's also about having a good time, and so I don't see a problem with that. Also, I don't like the contest kind of side of it, so I wouldn't do any of that. But what does your go bag look like? I'm not going to go pick it up because it's in it's away here, but it's a Hazard 4, and that's all I have to say about that. And a bunch of stuff in there, but it's not too big. I purposely got a smaller bag so that I wouldn't be tempted to put too much in it. Thanks for doing the live stream. Yeah, welcome. You're in Nevada. Excellent. I've been to Nevada. I've been to Death Valley. Yeah. Colorado. Been to Colorado too. Preparedness veteran. Hi. Food care and training is as important as the weight of the pack. Food care, yeah, definitely. Definitely. What is your use case of survival? Maybe many. Your use case, I'm not sure what you mean here, Perm B. No, it's not Perm B, it's Gaël. What, demande en français, Gaël. EAADGA. Do you think if I can add UHF elements to my Yagi antenna 5 elements and that these work by induction without connecting them to the main line? No. Andrew Hodkinson, I get reports from my 8010 half-wave unfed when working NVIS. Yeah, I get better reports on 50 watt than other locals using 400 watts. Yeah. I mean, it's as good as a dipole. It's kind of a dipole, but it's just fed at the end. That's about it. But they do work really well, I have to say. Half-wave unfed is the way to go for prepping. Definitely. Anyone here use any prediction tools for long-range HF? The only one that I've seen using is the one that's built in the WinMore, WinLink program, RMS Express. I think it's called something else now. Les situations que tu envisages, je n'envisage pas vraiment de situation particulière. Je pense que le risque est peut-être plus pour un conflit humain, économique, ou peut-être une tempête solaire, quelque chose comme ça. Okay, so Gail was asking me what kind of disaster I was seeing, would be possible, and I said EMP, solar storm, or a conflict, a war, or an economic collapse. Mais je ne veux pas me préparer pour quelque chose en particulier. Je pense que c'est une erreur. You have to be prepared for everything, and anything that you might not even expect. 2EQEZT has just set up a portable ham shack in a trailer with a ham friend of his. I'll have to check that out. Do you 3D print any proper accessories? I started doing that, although the printing is done at my workplace. But I started designing stuff on a Tinkercad, and I will get a 3D printer. That's really a big help of making parts and boxes and things like that, holders and the adapters and all kind of stuff. It's really good. I think it's that's why I want to get one, because there isn't a week without thinking about something to make. Q&A more often. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to do it too many of them, but otherwise we're going to have the same questions all the time. But yeah, I'll do others, because I kind of like the exchange. It's not one way, just videos, and it's. I like to talk to you guys, and I wish we could. I could have more contact with you guys on the air, and I'm going to try to set that up again. I get the inverted L. Yeah, inverted L. Inverted V is pretty good too. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. There are message held for review here, and that's probably because people are trying to post links, and that might not go through because of YouTube. But the links I might click on them later and let them go through. But try not to post links, so it's not going to go. Don't put a .com or whatever, or something like that. Just give the name. Yagi handmade antenna is for VHF 5 elements. Okay, and I would like to convert it V-band by band. Yeah, you're gonna have to put a splitter there or something. Check that out. But you're not just gonna be able to put elements, parasitic elements, and that's not gonna work. Preparedness should not be too focused on one type of risk. Absolutely. Yeah, you get a huge bag. Yeah. It's some people buy like 2 dozen of one thing, and backups are good, but and if you want to distribute stuff to your group members, if you have a group, and I highly suggest doing that. But otherwise, you're just a hoarder, and you're gonna have to buy stuff that you don't necessarily want to buy, and you have to buy by necessity because you might need them. Or it's highly likely that you will need them. But prepping is not about buying what you like only. DMR anymore? No, because there's no repeater like really close to here. I think there's one over the border in Italy, but so actually not right now. No. If you would address stealth when using the radio. Yeah, that's an important subject also. There are some radios that are more stealthy than others, just not only the antenna. I just use very thin wire, black wire, from the wireman.com, and that's number 534. I think it's 26 gauge, very thin. They have also, there is thin wire from sotabeams.co.uk, but it's I think it's yellow. They have a green one, I think, that would be good. But some videos like have direct conversion receivers, for instance, don't emit frequency RF all the time. They don't have an oscillator on all the time, like a PRC 319. Check that out. It's made to be stealthy, and maybe a prepping radio should be a direct conversion receiver. Don't forget to give the thumbs up. Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe also if you're not, and don't forget to go to patreon.com, because I'm broke. I buy a lot of stuff, guys, to make those videos, and a lot of stuff I really don't need, and it's piling up, and I have a 250 square feet apartment, and I don't know what I'm going to do with all that stuff. You can't see it here, but I have antennas everywhere and radios and stuff, and it's I'm probably going to have to get a storage unit to put all that stuff. To meet on a talk group once a month. Okay, there is a talk group. It's on WhatsApp, and you have to be on patreon.com. Subscribe there to access it, because I don't want too many people on it. It's not that I want to make more money, because again, I don't do this for money. I spend more money on this channel that I make. It's a passion, so I don't mind doing it. But definitely, Is Patreon your only crowdfunding site? For now, yes. I do have PayPal, but and send me a message, Gilles, GIL at radiopreppers.com if you want to help out, and that'd be really appreciated. Wire gauge always confused me. Yeah, millimeters, that's simpler, yeah. Basically, you don't want to go... I mean, I use 26 gauge wire, but it's a steel wire, a copper-clad steel wire, so it still has a strength of 25 pounds. Otherwise, your wire might break, or you need a longer wire. But then it's if you have a horizontal antenna, it's gonna droop, and you don't necessarily want that. All right, guys, a few more questions before we close up the session. I'm out of port, so that's it. Ah oui, Frédéric, le Lab 599 TX 500. Je suis en contact avec eux, mais ils m'ont envoyé un mail que j'ai pas vraiment compris. Je pense qu'ils ne parlent pas anglais, donc je vais voir si je peux peut-être en obtenir un pour le tester. Oui. Apparemment, sur le papier, ça a l'air pas mal, quoi. Surtout la consommation de courant qui est très basse. Donc ça, c'est très intéressant. C'est pas un écran couleur, c'est un écran noir et blanc. Donc ouais, peut-être, moi, je suis intéressé. Il faut voir le prix aussi, mais bon, on verra, quoi. All right, bonne soirée. Yeah, very good. Oh, there are other messages held for review there, and probably links in them, but I'll have to approve them later. How did you How did you learn Morse code? With difficulty. Phone apps, Ham Morse or Ham University, I don't remember. I think it's Ham Morse on iOS and KMT Pro on Android, basically with my phone. And do not learn Morse code at slower than 15 words per minute. That's a big mistake. I made it. I know now. Don't do it. Do not go below 15. 126. Matt, I don't know what that means. I don't speak that. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I have to go. Youngest daughter wants to lift by. All right, Steve. Have a good night. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go soon too. So you guys send me your last questions there, and then we'll close it up. And then I'll go watch another episode of Sons of Anarchy. I'm waiting for The Walking Dead to come back. It's not as good as before when but I'm waiting for that one. I have to practice my English, so I think it's still all right. Probably got more of an accent now, but when I came back from the US, I actually had an American. My French had an American accent, and so I couldn't speak any language without an accent, basically. Bonsoir. That's almost it. Yeah, that's almost like how you pronounce it. All right, couple more questions, guys, and then we'll end it. It's more than 2 hours. All right, 49 people. Still have 53 thumbs up. 2 hours and 10 minutes, guys. Yeah, those sessions are long. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, and some very good questions from you guys. So thank you very much. Are you planning to buy more military radios? I would like to, but I'm going to try not to because basically I already have 2 PRC 320s for HF, and the other radios are quite expensive, and already have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 VHF radios, but they're only usable on 6 meter FM, and there's nobody on 6 meter FM. So probably not. I'm going to try not to buy more military radios. I still have a PRC 350 that I have to make a video about. Thanks to my friend Ray, who sent that to me. But Ray, the British Ray, an American Ray also. And I haven't seen him. Damn, that's too bad. Yeah, I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try to restrain myself. Thank you. Okay, very good. Very welcome, everyone. It's been a pleasure, really, having this exchange. And I was gone for a minute, so sorry if this has been answered before. Hold on. What? Are you planning on more upgrades on your Land Cruiser? Yes, I would like to. Do the paint, but not use a bed liner for the outside of the car. Basically, I would like also to put some tow points on it for rescue, and I would like to put a winch on it, an electric winch, solar panel. I just changed the oil, and I put a very good oil in it to make it last as long as I can. And I'd like to put torsion type differentials in it, and that's I think they're Detroit, not Detroit locker, but it's something else. It's another differential. It's a torsion type, TORSEN. True lock or true something, I forgot the name, but I want to put front and back very limited slip differentials, basically, and that's about as much money as I want to spend on that. It is only an off-roader with a winch. Yeah, definitely. I mean, a winch is definitely high on the list of stuff to have, just in case, but the differentials are very important too, because you won't get stuck then. You don't have to use the winch. Ham radio is the best Unix OS for you. I use Linux Mint for desktop. Now, if you're talking servers, I like FreeBSD, but that's only for servers. But Linux Mint, I think, is great. All right, if nothing to do with prepping ham radio, where's the best? Okay, yeah, just answer that. Okay, very good. Very good. Well, it has to do with prepping. If you're using digital modes on radio, you might want to use Unix. It's more stable than Windows. And FLDG, which is the most well-known digital software, does have a version for Unix, as well as JS8 Core. Actually, it does work on Unix, on Linux. Anyway, you recommend getting QRP set from pre-made and ready to go. Anywhere you recommend getting a QRP set from? The best QRP radios are really kits, and that's problem. Not everybody likes to build kits, or some people have physical disabilities that prevents them from handling small components and things like that, or vision problems like I do now. So kits are the best, really, like qrp-labs.com, qrpkits.com, QRP Guys, Foursquare QRP. There's a bunch of them. Otherwise, I'm not good at soldering. I just practice, man. Otherwise, something already made. I would look at the Xiegu G1M. That just came out, or the QRP VER. Probably those would be good bets. UKits has some good ones too. Excuse me. Otherwise, there's a bunch of them. Well, the FT818 is still a good bet, but it's current hungry. I think about 400 milliamps, 450 milliamps. That's a lot. I'll try to stay way below that, 250 milliamps maximum on receive for a voice radio. Yeah, practice. Well, good practice makes perfect, right? All right. So, anyone else? We're gonna end it here. Otherwise, I'll wait a few seconds. But a couple of last questions. Merci pour le Q&A. Okay, we'll do it again. And yeah, it's getting late. It's actually getting dark outside here now. It's 8:16 p.m. All right, excellent, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you all for participating. I really enjoyed the exchange, and we'll do it again because this is it's very interesting and very good questions. Yeah, excellent. Merci, Stan. Very good. So I wish you all a very good day or night or whatever it is where you live, and we'll do this again. I'll try to get at least one video out tomorrow night, but no promise. I'm not sure if I'm not finished with editing this one might be this week's video, so we'll see about that. But again, I really enjoyed this exchange, and don't forget to subscribe and see patreon.com, and you know, I'll see you guys later, and hopefully I'll hear some of you guys on the air. Hopefully tomorrow it might be on 30ers tomorrow afternoon for me, French time, so it would be morning for you guys in the US. So, all right, you all have a good one, and you guys, thanks again.